What's up guys, JV2017 here with my first Automatron DLC tips and tricks video, and today I'm going to share my unique weapon guide for the Tesla rifle, which is a new weapon introduced in this DLC. We'll look at where you can find the weapon, how it can be modded, and my overall thoughts on this gun. You can find the Tesla rifle at the Fort Hagen Satellite Array, and this is a location way west on the map, pretty much due south from Sanctuary. It's halfway down the map, so this is a place you'll visit during the DLC quest, and if you don't want any spoilers, I suggest you stop watching the video. You have to find it during the headhunting DLC quest, or at least it seems so. Maybe you don't, you can just come here, but why not? You're playing through the DLC, you'll, encounter this anyway. So you must have completed the first two DLC quests in order to get headhunting, which are a new threat and mechanical menace. And then of course you have the basic requirement of needing to be at least level 15 in order to even start the Automatron DLC. So just a few things to keep in mind. Once you're on this mission, it's really a matter of just following the objective. You'll have to open up this place via this terminal, and then you're going to fight a lot of this new faction that's introduced called the Rust Devils, and a lot of the new unique combinations of robots. It's really a cool mission. It's one of the favorites that I've played so far. Just be a little careful when you're fighting this giant sentry bot. It is quite a challenge. There is a missile launcher in that room if you're really looking for a way to get around that, but once you've done that, you're going to find another gauntlet of Rust Devils and robots. But once you get to this point where you see these Assaultron totems, and then one of the characters I'm not really going to disclose because it's part of the story is talking to you saying this is the place where they ripped me apart or they ripped my head off or something like that, you will know that you're in the location. And so once you've gotten here, there's going to be an enemy in power armor called Ivy, I believe. And this is a new type of power armor that I'm really not covering in this video, but it's kind of relevant. It's the Tesla power armor. This is where you can find some of that, or at least the first of that, in this location. But also she drops the Tesla rifle, and really it's not much of a challenge. You just have to make sure there's enough space between you and the enemy. As you can tell, I clearly put enough space between Ivy and I, and she's going to be shooting you with this new weapon you're about to get, so you need to be careful with that. But as you can tell, I was able to easily take her down. I'm just a level 16, so really it wasn't that much of a challenge. And once you've killed her, you're going to loot her, and here it is. Now, unlike most unique weapons, this isn't just a normal weapon with a legendary modifier. It is truly a very unique weapon in the way that it operates. It fires an electrical discharge that arcs between targets. It's very cool. You don't have to just take my word for it, because I got plenty of gameplay for you guys to watch in the background, but something I wanted to note is that this weapon takes fusion cells. Fusion cells are just the standard ammunition for most laser weapons. It's just nice that they didn't choose some wacky new ammo type that was extremely limited. This is something you're going to find all over the game, and once you grab this weapon, you can play a lot of other content and still find ammo for it. Before we move on, I just wanted to highlight the fact that as a level 17, not overpowered, just normal difficulty on this skulled enemy, I'm able to tear through it. It's also legendary, so I had to fight through its mutation. This is a very potent gun, and you're going to see several more examples of this gun just ripping through enemies that it really shouldn't be throughout this video. Taking a look at our modding options, we have two slots, one for the barrel and one for the sight. And of course, with the barrel, it's pretty much what you expect. Each option changes the firing style. By default, you have the semi-auto barrel, which is okay in terms of damage. You've got the automatic barrel, which requires Science 1, you can see on the right, for more of a commando-based build. You have the charging barrel, which is what I'm using in this video. The damage just jumps up a ton. It's crazy, crazy good. Requires Science 1. Then you got the charging shotgun barrel for a run and gun based build that maximizes the damage, requires 2 science. And then finally a charging lob barrel for placing electrified traps, which has a lot of interesting gameplay, applications. It's definitely a cool and unique option for the weapon. Something I didn't show is also the iron sights. You've got the standard iron sights that come on the gun, and also the reflex, which is what you're going to see in this gameplay. The iron sights are kind of obtrusive, so I just went ahead and got the reflex sight. But as you can tell, I built the charging shot, and that's what you're seeing in the gameplay. It's a monster. It tears through skulled enemies. Enemies that I really shouldn't be able to dispatch really quickly. They're dead. They just explode into this blue electrified dust. While the bulk of my experience is with the charging barrel variant of this is just an overall strong weapon. I mean, it's okay with its normal semi-auto barrel, but really when you bring it to the modding station, it unlocks those really interesting options. And it's awesome because we do have all these different options. And the charging shotgun barrel is definitely something I'm going to explore in the future in terms of a run and gun build. It makes sense to have that, and also it is super high damage. So in terms of building kind of a character around this, I think it's totally possible to build a character around this weapon. Choose one of those firing types and just go to town. Overall, the strengths of this weapon are its great utility. You can really do whatever you want with the barrel options, and it's definitely not like any other weapon we've had in Fallout 4 so far. It is absolutely worth your time to first pick up this weapon, and second, spend your time exploring these modding options and find a mod that fits your playstyle or your character build. Probably the biggest downside with this weapon is it's locked until level 15. You do have to start the DLC, and the DLC can only be started if you are level 15. And so, you're pretty much going to pick up this weapon around level 16 or 17, depending on the XP that you get. It takes about an hour and a half-ish into the DLC before you can actually obtain the weapon. But once you do get your hands on it, it is obscene. This is a very powerful weapon, and not to mention, something I didn't even mention, it arcs between targets. So if you have a lot of targets running at you at once, it will arc between them and also deal damage. And for these reasons, I think this really should be your go-to weapon for an energy weapons-based build. I mean, this really does either outclass or come very close to the likes of the Righteous Authority or Old Faithful, some of the standard weapons that we've been using for months now. This really is at that level. So I'd like to hear from you guys. Are you going to go out and get the Tesla rifle after watching this video? Does this seem like it's something that you're going to use in your build, or is it just a really cool weapon? Let me know what you guys are thinking with this weapon in the comments below. Alright guys, today I shared my unique weapon guide for the Tesla rifle in Fallout 4, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe for more Automatron DLC coverage, my Automatron Let's Play, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace!